This is NDTV, and you are watching NDTV Prime.
These are your lungs today. These are your lungs after a month in a city like Delhi in the middle of winter. And this is what your lungs will look like if you've been in Delhi city for 3 months and haven't done anything about the pollution. Now, I've used my most melodramatic voice, but this is not something that is just a joke or fun. These are actually real filters used in an air purifier in the city of Delhi, brand new, 1 month later and 3 months later. Shocking that this is the state of our lungs in less than 3 months. Obviously, you know what the topic is on Unboxed today. It's going to be the state of our cities, air pollution, the fact that we are beating every world record, the fact that it's not just Delhi, but 20 to 30 other cities that are catching up and trying their best to beat Delhi in a frenzy. I have with me a panel, we have an audience. Remember, we're still breathing the same air because there are no air purifiers in this studio. And we're going to find out today, is it possible for us to do something about this? What's the best way of doing it? And what is the only way that you can actually have a life if you want to continue living in a city like this? I'm going to start with you. We have in front of us a do-it-yourself air purifier. Now, while it's interesting, it's a great talking point, at the end of the day, it is an air purifier itself. The fact that we even need one of this, the fact that we need a whole show with an audience about it itself is really, really sad. When you started off, and you started off this company, Smart Air, here in India, what was the reason you started off at that time? Did you kind of foresee this is going to happen, that it's going to get this bad? And why do you have no stock at all right now?
Well, last year when I started, my fiancée at the time, we're married now, she...
To you, hopefully?
Sorry? Yes.
Yes, okay, because you made it sound like my fiancée who's married now, it sounds like, okay, that didn't work out.
Wait a minute, but you know what didn't work out? She left Delhi.
Oh, she
because
left
of the
Delhi?
Pollution.
Okay.
Right. And
wow, really?
I'm left behind here. So
wow, where has she gone?
She's gone to Goa. She's migrated out because of the pollution.
You're sure it's the pollution, right?
Well,
I mean, because you know, there are reasons and excuses, and you know, right?
I go
they
down
say the
once a
first
month
year after marriage, sometimes
yes,
the excuses are very imaginative.
Right.
Right?
So, you know, some people react really badly to the pollution, other people don't, right? I ride motorbikes, I'm sitting behind trucks belching smoke, I don't even cough. Okay. My wife, she can't even sleep a night without a purifier running. Right? But when it became this serious, we said, oh, let's start Googling air purifiers. We Googled air purifiers. We found all the marketing glitz from everybody, right? The 7-stage filtration, the 9-stage filtration. Do you need ionizers, photocatalytic?
Charcoal,
it seemed like
and this and that.
A whole bunch of nonsense. You couldn't trust what these companies are doing, right? Then there's this one guy, Dr. Thomas Thalem, who in China actually came up with this hack of an air purifier. And he basically said, what's in an air purifier besides a HEPA filter and a fan? And he put this contraption together for about $33. He bought an expensive air quality meter and tested its effectiveness. And you know what? It's actually as effective or even more effective than machines that cost 10 times, even 15 times more.
Would you then go with something like this? Or would you go with those fancy boxes from fancy companies that actually talk about 9-step and, you know, charcoal and this filter does that? Like, just before the show started, Rahul had this amazing expression of how impressed he was about a particular company. He was going to send him a 7-step, right? A lot of jargon, gimmick?
So definitely established brand name helps in terms of establishing the trust, because when something goes wrong, where should I go? How effective this is unknown, right? So unproven models, it's very difficult to convince myself.
Okay.
But
so if I was to put you into a room and give you a 70,000 rupees air purifier, and then I was to give you this one, and this was able to achieve slightly better measurements, how much would that affect you psychologically?
Big chunk.
It would be a big deal for you,
big
right?
deal for us.
It would really be a big
Then it will just demystify saying that how big brands are.
But if you look at this right now, it seems like ye kya hai?
Yes.
Right? Okay. Kishore?
So I think, when
Do
you
you
call
have an air
this,
purifier
I do.
in your room?
I do.
Okay.
I have one. I have one from Xiaomi. I'm quite happy with it. It works quite well. Also, in some of the places where I work, we've invested very, very heavily in the Philips ones. So they're absolutely all over the place. I think one part that we're missing with these purifiers is how do you actually measure
Correct.
the quality of air in the rooms. And, the laser eggs are equally important. And they are not cheap. So, I mean, when you're looking at a laser egg, you're looking at 8 to 10,000 rupees for the egg. And then, whatever is the price
but this
for the
is one,
purifier.
because it's portable like we have right now. It's sitting out there, it's been charged, will run for about 6 to 8 hours. The one I use, I take it into my car. I actually have taken it room to room. I put it right next to windows to see if there's any leakage. I have different numbers for different rooms, and believe me, because of the laser egg and the one or two other ones that I have, I've actually been able to find points in my house that have a lot of leakage,
Right.
which I didn't know about. I mean, in summer, that's also where the air conditioning is leaking out from. I had no idea. So question again that comes in, would you?
Definitely, because when I look at it, it's not really that much DIY. I mean, it's a filter, strap it on top of the fan and plug it in, and you're ready to go.
Would you do this in your car if I was able to give you a filter that actually is the exact size as the vent of your air conditioner?
I certainly would.
You would?
Yes, absolutely.
That's your next
That's
project.
not too advisable because you might overpower the motor in the car, the fan
I
motor.
mean, 3 months.
No
You
warranty.
we better get a car that can do that. I mean, we've got to do something about. I'm
Yeah.
shocked at. Let's actually do this as a poll quickly before I even reveal this. Okay, so how many of you think that between the three? I'll give you 3 options. Raise your hand for the one that you think is the most polluted. Okay, outside, as in outside, outside your house, in your room, or in your car. Let's start with in your car. Those who think that will be the most polluted. Okay, 3, 4 people. Okay, in your room would be the most polluted. None. Okay, and outside. So you will be actually shocked to know that the results are a little different. If you actually have a room that has not had much airing and the outside pollution is 500, 600, the chances are that your room is the most polluted. And the second one would be your car if you actually crack open the window for even a few seconds. So that's the myth that you need to think about, because you can't do much about the outside pollution. Giant turbines, would they help?
No, just a gimmick.
You can't do much about that, right? But you can do something about your car and your room. All right. Own an air purifier?
Yes, I do.
You do? Okay. Would you install something like this?
Interestingly, first time when I saw this air purifier, I was like, this looks interesting. Will it require some assembly? Is it like 2 things, some strapping, something like that?
I assembled that. It didn't come like this. The strap was put on one side of the box.
Yeah, even
the filter
when
on the
it is-
other side, and the fan came in a separate box. I put it all together. It
Even
took
after-
took me all of 11 seconds.
No, even after assembly, it feels like, oh, you have to assemble it. But interesting product here. And, the kind of fan that is being used in it, and it's very simple to use. So I think it's a good enough gadget for all people to afford and use at their places.
Okay, great. So, quick question. When you use your air purifier, okay, how many rooms in your house is it purifying right now?
So I have 2 air purifiers.
No,
one.
one. The one in your bedroom.
Right.
Do you leave the door open?
No, it's closed.
You shut the door
Yeah.
down. Okay, and windows, everything.
Everything is closed.
You also shut it all down?
Yeah.
Shut it all down? Yes. Okay. That's one of the biggest issues that I actually face, is people who write to us saying, I put an air purifier in my room and it doesn't seem to do anything at all. And then when I say to shut the room down, shut the door down, they're like, that's impossible. How are we going to breathe carbon dioxide and all other things that actually come in? So great amount of myths. Let's get started with that. How do you really use an air purifier in your room? What are the do's? What are the don'ts?
While buying an air purifier is easy, maintaining it and getting maximum efficiency from it is easier than what most people think. All you need to take care of a few things, and the air purifier that you have bought will ensure that the air you breathe is free from anything that can make you sick. Contrary to common belief, the air purifier works best in confined spaces. Every air purifier has a specific air cleaning capacity, And to get the best results, users should close all doors and windows while using the air purifier. Depending on the usage and type of area you live in, each air filter has a limited time cycle. Usually an air filter lasts for up to 1200 hours of usage. However, if you live on ground floor where the dust level is more as compared to higher floors, a filter will fill up much faster. If you think that washing a Hepa filter makes it clean again, well, that would be absolutely wrong. A Hepa filter has microfilters that capture dust and particles generally invisible to human eye. Once it gets clogged, it can be cleaned. All air purifiers are designed to purify air in a limited area. Make sure that your air purifier has the rated capacity for the area where it is being planned for usage. Using an air purifier in a large area than designated only reduces its efficiency.
So, lots of things to talk to all of you about, but first let's just get down to the audience who have lots and lots of questions. Let's show of hands, people that have questions on this. All right, I'll start off with you.
Hi, I'm Cherub. I wanted to ask, don't you think that these air purifiers are highly overrated? I mean, I think that they are more of a luxury for the rich than a need for a common man. So
Let's do an interesting poll. I think you bring up a very interesting question, and we've been saying this on all our shows, that this is a toy of the rich, and it's sad because, you know, air doesn't really look at whether you're rich or poor or middle class. It's going to do the same damage. So let's find out, what should a good air purifier for 150, 200 square feet room? 150 is usually the average size room in a city like Delhi. I mean, of course, there are larger rooms that people have, but 150 is a good number. So what would you pay for it?
yeah, I won't like to pay anything for it.
Well, okay.
I don't think air
So that's a
purifiers are
huge
that.
problem. I mean, you know, you are wearing shoes, you are wearing
No, I'm
a
just
pair
saying
of
that
pants.
I don't
if
feel
this
the
has
need.
become an essential. Okay, so how many people here think that they don't need an air purifier at all? Okay, so about 5 or 6 people. So what do you think? I mean, this is something that been created by the media?
No, so we get this a lot, that people say, I'm born and brought up in Delhi, I don't need this. Why suddenly is air pollution a problem for me now? It's only a foreigner problem. You know, they come in and they cough. But if you think about a smoker, right? When he took his first puff of that cigarette, he coughed violently. But by the 10th cigarette, he's not coughing anymore. He's still inhaling the same pollution, but his brain has told his body, don't cough, suppress the symptoms.
So if you have a situation where, as he described it, right, can't do much about it outside, but here we are with band-aids in between, have you then tried a mask?
I haven't yet started using a mask, but what I have tried certainly is indoor plants. You know, so those people who don't want to go out and buy purifiers, there's a lot of plants which actually do the same job.
So I think of that as the world's greatest myth. There are plants that can take care of odor and other such things between, you know, CO2 and oxygen. I have yet to discover a plant that can filter
No, it doesn't
pollutants
filter.
and actually, you know, it sucks the pollutants in and then blows fresh air out.
It doesn't blow them out.
That's impossible. So the money plant and the others are great for more oxygen, CO2 and all of that, but everything else.
No, it doesn't filter.
They're good to have as a psychological benefit and maybe some odors, but for PM 2.5 and actual particulate pollution, they're not effective.
No, for pollution, I can tell you, I am a biker. I have 3 bikes, and I am on the road all the times. Not during the night, but yeah.
Yeah, I'm just thinking 3 bikes, Ajay Devgan style. I mean, do you stand on 2 at one time, and then that's how you enter?
I keep changing. I keep changing my bikes.
Achha,
Yeah.
so you keep changing.
But the thing
I
is
thought
that
it was the shirtless Rahul, and I mean, can I ask the producers of this show to take one shot of that and then add that also, or you can take the shirt off now.
no, it's okay. But the point we are coming on to is that I use a pollution mask all the times, and within a day of usage, I can tell you that a brand new pollution mask,
N95 or N99 mask is.
which is ultra white in color, by the evening it's like off-white. And you can tell the amount of pollution that the filter is stopping from getting into your lungs.
No, I don't say, but is the mask also a solution for going out? Well, let's take a look at how you can use a mask, where you cannot use a mask, and what really again is the myth behind using the mask, because there are lines that are forming. I mean, those lines broke because of demonetization, but first the line started. I think that was just practice for all of us, that first stand in line to buy masks, then you can stand in line to exchange notes. But there are ways and do's and don'ts even about using a mask.
Out of all forms of pollution, air pollution is the worst. Luckily, however, there are ways in which one can fight it with something as simple as an air pollution mask. While these masks are easy to use, there are certain precautions one should take while using them. While using a pollution mask, ensure that it fits snugly onto your nose and mouth. If there is any leakage, the efficiency will drop considerably. Avoid using pollution masks in humid conditions, as the filters get clogged with water, making air filtration difficult. Like any other filter, an air pollution mask has a limited lifespan. So to get the maximum efficiency, use it for the stipulated time period. Also make sure to read the instructions carefully before you start using one. Air pollution masks should not be shared with anyone. It could potentially lead to infection and transmission of germs, causing illness.
So we've covered some ground, but lots more to go on how air purification, masks and everything else can make our life more manageable in a city like Delhi, but that's after the break.
Please stand by. Please stand by.
Welcome back. Let's get back to the audience with some more questions. All right, let's go with you.
Hello, I'm Benazir. My question is, do we keep changing or cleaning the air filters? Is that difficult to maintenance?
Shouldn't we just take a hose and just spray on the filter every day in the morning and get clean air?
No, you can't. So don't wash a Hepa filter. You can't wash it, it will go bad.
So let's find out from the people who own their filters. Last time you changed your filter was? When did you buy the air purifier?
I have not bought it yet.
Oh, you don't have an air purifier right now? Okay. Are you also one of those who says, I don't need it?
No, I'm going to buy.
Your wife has saved you with the plants till now, right? Okay. Kishore?
Mine is brand new, so I have I have 140 days to go now.
And
so
the app tells you how many days
the app tells me,
and what efficiency it's working at, right?
4 months. Because
and you haven't changed the filter as yet, Rahul?
I have changed the filter. 4
Already?
months. Yeah.
In 4 months' time?
Yeah. So because
you washed
my
it,
room,
Rahul, there's a difference.
I did not wash it. So the thing is that my room is mostly
you
closed.
stand on that mobike, Ajay Devgan style, and all that pollution goes into you, then your brain functionality slows down a little. You wash the Hepa filter.
I did.
I know you will not admit it in front of the audience, but go back home today and that washed filter, throw it away and buy a new one from them. Let's come back to some more audience questions. Who has another question?
Hi, I'm Prakriti, and my question is, why do I spend 2,000 or 5,000 bucks on an air purifier when I'm going to use it only at night in my room? What about rest of the day? What do I do with it?
First, I wish there were 2,000 rupee air purifiers because that would really help. But the best ones, at least the ones that we think work, are still at about 10,000, 8,000 rupees. And the second thing is that you don't use it only at night. I mean, whenever you're in the room, you should be having it on. And one of the advice I give to most people is switch it off when you're not in the room, because your filter has a certain amount of life. So come back in 20-25 minutes, your room will come back to normal by using it. Most people leave it on day and night. That, according to me, doesn't make sense. But
so I got a point. If people question, what's the point if you use it only for 8 hours a day at night time, and then you're still going to breathe all the polluted air? You're at least giving your body a break for 8 hours. Otherwise, you're constantly 24 hours breathing in this polluted air. 8 hours at least give it a respite.
Used the term inflammation. That's one of the worst things that can happen to your body. And if you're having that constantly for 24 hours versus giving it some respite for 8 or 10 hours whenever you're in the room, that's a big deal. Your body does settle down and becomes much, much better. All right, one last question before we sign off for today.
Hello, sir. My name is Pallavi. My question is about the power consumption. Like, is it safe to have it switched on all day? Is it cost effective? Is the running cost expensive?
It's not. It's only 50 watts, so it's as much as a light bulb. We've calculated if you use it for 8 hours a day at night time, it's about 50 rupees a month. Is that worth some clean air for you, right? Besides the machine cost.
Filter also.
Right. And the filter cost.
So but the running cost is, I think, what she's talking about, power consumption and everything else. Okay, so that then was our special show on Unboxed on air purifier, masks and everything else that you can do to at least have some semblance of clean air in your life. Do write to us at Unboxed. All the ways to communicate with us are given on your screen. Any question on a new device you want to buy, something you've already bought but want to know more about it, we're here to help. See you next week right here on the Unboxed Show.